Okay, well, today is day 11 of my frugal weight loss journey. And I started in January 2016. And as I said, I'm trying not to talk too much about, oh, it's January 11th, because I want people to kind of jump in where they're at. And it doesn't matter if it's not January. I just want to encourage people and pass on things that I've learned from other people. I'm in a lot of pain today. I don't know why. It just hurts. As I've said, it's a pretty low point in my life. I had shoulder surgery December 18th, which is about a month ago, a little less than a month. I'm not allowed to move my shoulder for 6 weeks. In a lot of pain. I had a completely ruptured rotator cuff and a massive bone spur, according to my surgeon. He said it was a monster. And that's probably what this big incision is about. A big one right there. That was for the bone spur, and the little ones were for the rotator cuff. So I can't really do my hair with one arm. I try. My daughter helps a little, but it's not like doing your own hair. Can't really put makeup on like I usually do. Can't get dressed properly. Just have a shirt over like a tank top because I need like stretchy soft straps over my shoulder, and this shirt is too big for me. It's actually my daughter's. I have to step into it and pull it over. I can't lift my arm up. So this is a pretty low point. I mean, I can't believe that I'm doing this, but my message is to start where you're at. Instead of waiting till, oh, I'm going to be on YouTube, so I have my hair to be perfect, and I have to have makeup on and buy new clothes. I mean, I'm not in a position to do that. I take care of two disabled people, which is my mom, who's elderly and in a walker, and my daughter with autism. So that's difficult. There's not a lot of money because I can't work outside the home because I'm taking care of them, which I can't anyway because of my health problems. But the point is, um, I named this frugalicious living because I don't have a feel sorry for myself attitude. Being frugal doesn't have to be a bad thing. People make it to be bad. I don't know why. Being frugal means you just careful with your money and spend it on things that are important to you and use your creativity and work to make life better. There's all kinds of people that have all kinds of ways to lose weight that cost something. Jenny Craig and Nutrisystem and Physicians Weight Loss and Weight Watchers, and some of them work. I think Weight Watchers works mostly, but it costs quite a lot of money. And I have had a few people tell me, you know what, I bet it's great, but I can't afford it. My doctor is not the biggest fan of Weight Watchers, even though he knows it can be successful. And the reason is because he said it's just too complicated. Why do you have to do the points and, you know, why do you have to make it be so that you don't have this intuitive sense of how many calories and fat grams you're taking in? Because it's not just points. I had a friend who told me that when she first started Weight Watchers, which was years before this is years and years ago, that a serving of meat was 4 ounces. So she used to eat 4 hot dogs because each one was 1 ounce. Who thinks that that's a healthy way to eat? That's what points do to you. You kind of lose touch with calories and fat grams and things like that, which should matter. Um, I have done Weight Watchers in the past, and what I did was, it's not available anymore, but before the internet, it shows my age, I'm 52. Before the internet was around, there was a program called Weight Watchers at Home, if there wasn't a chapter in your area, and it was expensive. It's like $200, but I was working at the time, so I could afford it. So I purchased this Weight Watchers at home. And what it was all kinds of books and pamphlets that told you how to do the program at home, and it had a points calculator. So you didn't have to go to the weigh-ins, and well, I still have it. And over the years, I've tried it a couple more times, but it was complicated. I eventually had to change the battery in my points calculator a couple times. And then Weight Watchers, I I got a few really good cookbooks, but then they changed their point system. I mean, that's another thing that's not too great about Weight Watchers. Then they change your point system. And so all the stuff you have, the cookbooks are really, it's just, it seems like a money-making scheme. My doctor is a much bigger fan of MyFitnessPal because it's free, so he feels it's more sustainable and nobody has this excuse, "Well, I can't afford it." Oh, my shoulder really hurts today. Anyway, he says that it's better because it takes your food and it adds up the fat. I mean, it has a minimum and a maximum. Like you should have, I think it's 40 grams of protein a day, and you shouldn't go over 2,000 something. But it keeps you, I don't know what the word is, in tune with the fat content of food and the sodium content, all the things you should pay attention to. Weight Watchers might be great for some people, but if you have some health concerns, like I have high blood sugar, I'm pre-diabetes, I need to keep track of my fat and carb grams. And I know that Weight Watchers has like a minimum of healthy food you should eat every day. You can't just have 40 points of cupcakes. A lot of people don't really do that because by the time you eat all of the, you know, healthy food they say you should eat, you don't really have a whole lot of points left for the yummy food they claim you can eat all the time. I mean, Weight Watchers is complicated and is not very sustainable for the long term. And the way they keep switching systems, point systems, is annoying because then your old cookbooks don't work. That's super annoying. But having said that, I will say one good thing about Weight Watchers. Their cookbooks are really good. Their recipes are delicious. They're some of the best cookbooks I have. Anyway, so I haven't thrown them out. They're still useful because I could just plug them into MyFitnessPal. You know, I don't think Weight Watchers likes that, but who cares? I bought the books. They're mine. I can do what I want with them. I don't really do MyFitnessPal right now. I will eventually get to that. I'm going to see how I do with this, tightening up my program. So this week I'm doing the tightening up my meals. Instead of breakfast being from the time I get up to noon, and lunch being from noon to 5, and dinner from 5 to 8, and snack from 8 to bedtime, I'm going to sit down and eat a complete meal. And so I did pretty good. For breakfast, I had a little bag of almonds. It was pre-measured, and I made a little smiley face as I was trying to make it kind of fun. I emptied out all my almonds on the table, and I made a little smiley face, and you could barely see my glass of water. So I had for breakfast. A little comment on that. I have found it very helpful to buy food in single serving containers. It's a little bit more expensive, not much. If you're not buying a lot of junk food, your food bills or your budget won't be hurting from this. I spend less than I used to. It's because, for instance, if I'm in a hurry, I just grab it. I keep a box of plastic silverware on the counter, so I could just grab these cups from the fridge, throw them in a bag with some spoons, and I've got lunch. I'm not stopping at fast food. And I know that's a trap that a lot of people fall into, but especially me, because when I'm not having surgery on my shoulder, I'm constantly driving people to doctor's appointments and other appointments and other things. My mom and my daughter and myself recently for my shoulder. I'm always driving somewhere. And I don't like skipping meals because I have medicine like my metformin that I have to take with meals. So I would be running out of the house and stopping at fast food and trying to make good choices, like getting a Happy Meal, smaller size. But, you know, it's really not good because it's still filled with gluten, which I'm allergic to, and sugar, which is raises my blood sugar, so I was always achy and sick, not feeling well. So the single serving containers really help. So I buy my cottage cheese in single serving containers, my sugar-free pudding, lots of things, including the almonds. I get it at Trader Joe. I love Trader Joe. I have to put in a plug for them. I love them. And no, I don't own any stock in them. I love Trader Joe because they have a lot of single serving things. A lot of their food is healthy and it's very inexpensive. I mean, I get stuff at Trader Joe cheaper than Walmart, believe it or not. So I buy their raw almonds in little single serving bags. And so that's what I ate for breakfast. I just poured it on the table and then I was done eating breakfast, which is great. And then for lunch, I made crepes and I'm really excited about this. Sorry. I'm excited because I cooked it myself. And I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I did. I found a gluten-free flour mix substitute that's really good. I'm shocked because I've tried a bunch of them. This one was really good. I mean, it tasted, I didn't feel like I was missing out. I didn't feel like, oh, bummer. I can't have gluten. These crepes are nasty with that flour. I didn't feel like that. I was like, this is really good and it's not going to make my joint ache. So, yay, winner. Um, I guess I should give brand names. I don't remember the name of it now, but I'll give it eventually. And the topping that you saw on there, because of my high blood sugar, I'm always trying to cut down on that and how many carbs and sugar grams I eat. So I buy the fruit spreads, the all fruit like Posner, I think is a brand, and Trader Joe's has a brand, what this is, the strawberry. I buy a bottle of the fruit spread with no added sugar, and then I buy a bag of frozen unsweetened fruit. I thaw the fruit. It's always more in the bag than in the jar. So it's half and half. It's half of this fruit spread with no sugar and half of a bag of unsweetened strawberries. And I thaw it. It's always mushy. And then I just kind of smash it with a fork. And then I mix it together. And it's actually very good because it's very fruity and it's not very sweet. So then I put it in a container, and that's what is in my crepe. So the crepes are just eggs, almond milk, or in this case, skim milk, and the gluten-free flour mix, and some vanilla. No sweetener, not even stevia in the crepe mixture. And it's cooked in a little bit of butter, real butter, unsalted butter. And then I just put the fruit spread on top. And I love crepes. When I was a little girl, I lived in a college town. My parents had some friends that were college professors from France. And I was a little girl, but the mom came over for breakfast one day and wanted to teach us how to make crepes. And I had so much fun. She taught me how to make crepes, and I've been making them ever since. I probably was about 8 years old. I love crepes, so I'm glad to be able to eat them again. So I had that for lunch, and that was very filling. So I really wasn't hungry again until later, and I didn't eat so hot. I had a serving of French fries that I got at a restaurant for dinner. I'm running out of time, so I'll be fast. And then for dessert, I had my chocolate banana peanut butter shake. And then I ended up eating a snack last night. I had 3 oranges and 3 celery sticks. Just plain, no dips or anything. So I didn't do too bad. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Bye.